So welcome back to Self-Care Introduction Part 3. So we were going over the basic checklist that we should add into our routine. So the first one the next one is to do at least one relaxing activity every day, whether it's taking a walk or spending 30 minutes unwinding. That could be reading a book, doing art, or even some people, if they're spiritual, like will do devotions or meditation. So just something like that. And the next one is to do at least one pleasurable activity every day, from going to the cinema, which I know right now a lot of our movie theaters and cinema and places are closed, so it's kind of hard for us to go out and do things. But maybe like take up like cooking or baking, or even getting in touch with friends or family that you haven't talked to in a while. So just explore like those avenues. Just get in touch with people that you haven't seen. Another one is to look for opportunities to laugh. So I know it's hard right now to because there's just a lot of unknowns or we're stressed, but just to look for opportunities to laugh. Even there's some like memes out there that about this that could help. And then also, I know I've talked about like adding a routine, but just to set up a 15-day self-care routine and see how you feel before and after. And never forget, as with everything, self-care takes practice. So just if you want to add like a self-care routine to you or try something new, just remember it takes like 15 days in order us to create a habit. So just be patient with yourselves, and we're all stuck inside. So it's no better time to start a new activity just to keep us going and entertained. So now I talked about what self care is. Now I'm going to talk about what isn't self care. So what isn't self care is knowing what self care is not might be even more important. So it's not something that we force ourselves to do or something that we don't enjoy doing. So, as Agnes Weinman explains, self care is something that refuels us rather than takes from us. Self care isn't a selfish act either. It's not only about considering our needs, it's rather about knowing what we need to do in order to take care of ourselves, being subsequently able to take care of others as well. That is, if I don't take enough care of myself, I won't be in the place to give to my loved ones either. So it's really important for us to have self-care, because how are we going to interact or be there for others in this time of need when we're not taking care of ourselves? So it's just to keep in mind that it's not a selfish act. It actually is really important for our health and well-being. So there are some consequences of not practicing self-care. So some people express they have low energy, they feel hopeless, less patience. I know when I'm stressed out, I tend to have less patience. Um, People could also have physical ailments as well. They could have increased headaches, stomach aches, and other physical symptoms of stress, including staying asleep. We talked about that before, how a lot of people are expressing they're having trouble sleeping. Challenges in choosing healthy food and urges to eat comfort foods. Another thing with self-care too, if we don't have self-care in our lives, there's also worsening mental health symptoms like in depression or anxiety, and feeling of burned out. So I know some of us have heard this term like burnout, meaning like just you don't feel like doing something anymore or feel like engaging in something anymore. So that's like what it means to burn out. We also tend to have difficulty concentrating. Uh, it also has some social consequences of strain or disharmony with relationships with your social support system. Reduce engagement at program activities, or if you're at a group home that has activities going on, maybe like reduce wanting to not be involved in those and kind of isolating ourselves. And again, like less motivation engaging in social activities. So that is the end of part 3. Part 4 will be coming to you soon.